because he has been appointed by the real owners, nothing but shareholders of the business. And also, the early preparation of final accounts is another objective of the efficient system of internal control check. It is to facilitate the early preparation of final accounts by ensuring that the accounting system provides a complete, regular, and reliable accounts. And the simplif- simplification of external audits work, an efficient system of internal check aims at simplification of work of an external auditor. When there is an evident system of internal check in operation in an enterprise, that external auditor need not undertake a detailed examination of each and every transaction. It will be simplifying the other works which have been done by the internal check of an employee. So these are about the important points to be noted about the internal check control. So the first point is division of work and the authority and responsibility and the automatic check. So these kinds prepares many responsibility of the internal person, and it will be automatically check between the transactions, and the rotation of employees also may be changed. If any work has been done by the accountant, may be checked by his superior and may be checked by the auditing team member, may be checked finally checked by the auditor. So the employees also be rotating inside of the organization based on their requirement, and the proper training of the employees can be possible with this, and also proper system of filing, and finally the usage of electronic equipment and periodical review has been done to good internal check system will be possible. So what are the benefits which have been made by the internal control? Let me check. What are the advantages of internal check and what are the objectives? These are the objectives. We already discussed in detail about early detection of frauds and error is the first point. So the detection of errors is a major duty of auditor. If it is detected early, that would be better for the auditing and the business process. And minimization of errors, division of work, uh, and the fixation of responsibility and reliability of records. These are the objectives of internal check. So you may expect a short answer question from this. So it will be useful for your examination point of view also. And then what are the advantages of an internal control? It is a proper distribution of work and detection and prevention of errors and frauds, increase the efficiency, determination of employees and liability, proper maintenance of books of accounts, and easy and quick presentation of final accounts and facilitate the auditor, increase the profitability. Let us discuss one by one in detail. The proper division of work of the internal check system is work distributed among the staff on the basis of their qualifications, on the basis of their qualification. So under that, their qualification might be differentiate, and someone will be expertise in the some work, and another may not expertise in the same work. So the division of work will be increase the efficiency of the internal control. So that is main advantage of proper division of work, and the fixation of responsibility also under the internal check system is respective duties of each members of the staff business are clearly defined by the fixing of responsibility. Otherwise, it will lead to the misuse of work and misconduct of the business. So, the fixation of responsibility and the proper division of the work might be the important thing in the one of the major advantages of the internal check. And the greater efficiency of the stock is nothing but the increasing the efficiency, the division of work among the staff on the basis of specialization. If they are specialized in the cash transaction, they have to go for the cash. If they are specialized in the expenditure or any banking relation operations, they have to go for the based on their specialization. uh, can be useful for the efficiency of the work, and that specialization also useful for the strengthening of the business transactions, envisage the internal check system and increase the efficiency of the staff, and thereby contributes to the economy in operations. So the increasing of the proper and increasing of the efficiency will lead to increasing the earnings of the profit. An internal check contributes to the overall efficiency arc and the economy in operations of these turn lead to increase the earning or profits in the business. Delay early detection of errors and frauds under the internal check system. The each work of the employee is checked by auditor in an ordinary course. As a result, the errors and frauds as this detected on early stage no sooner that they are committed, and the prevention of the errors and the frauds, the fact that the work of each employee is checked by another in the ordinary course create a moral check of the staff which helps in preventing the minimization of errors and frauds. Early and easy preparation of final accounts also possible with this. The efficient work in the correct and complete record of transactions. So resulting from that, the effective system of internal check, it will be facilitate the preparation of the final accounts easily without of the much loss of time and the pressure. So the final accounts can be possibly completed within the time, and the truth of accuracy of the accounts. An efficient system of internal check ensures the truth and accuracy of the books of accounts. The books of accounts of the concern A. Operating the good system of the internal check can be very well replied upon the truth and accuracy of the accountants and the moral influence of the employees. The system of internal check puts a moral check on the members of staff and enables them to learn how they're living in the organization as a honesty and hard work and accountability to the auditing system and straightforwardness, and auditing also possible made easy because the system of internal check facilitate the work of auditors to great extent by enabling him to rely on the test checking. So the test checking is has been done. The process of the auditing will be also possible, and the correct and complete records of all the transactions also possible because the system of internal check may also result in the correct and the complete record of the transactions and each balancing the books of accounts, and the check test checking also possible. Suppose the auditor finds the system of internal check satisfactory, then by taking into mind its defects or weak points, he can take the help of test checking. And so many of the advantages are being enabled with the internal check process. When it is a good system of internal check, the owners of business can rely upon the duties of the auditing, the genuineness and accuracy of the account, and efficient internal check result in overall efficiency and economy in operations. This results in increase in profits, which in turns ensuring more earning or dividends of the owners. So this will be increasing the dividends, and this will be checking the reliability, and it will be checking the trustworthy of the books of accounts. And why, how this is helpful for the auditor also, where there is an efficient system of internal check in operation is concerned, the auditor need not have a detailed checking of each and every transaction in the books of accounts. They can rely on test checking. So, apart from this, what are the disadvantages? So, some of the disadvantages also there in the internal auditing system checking. Let me share that disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? You can see on the screen. Or first one is expensive. Why it is expensive? Because introduction of internal check system is quite expensive as an involvement of additional costs. That means only big concerns can afford to have internal check system, and it is not suitable applicable for small organization. Under the internal check system, the staff of the concern attach greater importance on being quick and but not very serious about the quality of the work. As results, work become uh, not giving some fruitful result. And the complete, mm, it is among the completeness of high officials. Under the internal check system, the responsible of high officials who are responsible for the supervision of work tend to be compliant of their work. This is because they tend to believe that the work under a sound system of internal check will be go efficiently and nothing can go wrong. And the chaos and disorder in the working of the concern. So that may not be possible with the under the system of internal check control. The checking of errors and frauds is ensured only when there is a no collusion between the employees and the concern. If the employees are the not supporting to the all the stuff for the management, the internal check system may fail to ensure the checking of errors and frauds and risky for the auditor also, because when there is an internal check system and auditor may not carry a thought of detailed checking of every transaction. If he may rely on the internal check that each and every transaction has been thoroughly checked. So that may be riskier for the auditor. So he depends mainly on test checks as he relies the books of accounts. If he does not judge the soundness of the internal check system and relies wholly of the books of account, the and if the books of accounts turn out to the incorrect and inaccurate, him he may be held liable for the negligence. So these are the major disadvantages of internal control system. So no doubt, internal check system is subject to certain limitations or drawback, but the limitation can be overcome. So that limitation, if we try to overcome, that will be give fruitful result for the business organization. If the management is very careful in the application, the internal check system, if the internal check system is applied by the management continuous and carefully, it will be certainly pro. It will be very useful for the efficient running of the business. And what are the fundamental principles of check essential for the good system of internal check? We already discussed in the first slide. The system of internal check is should be simple and easy, workable and effective. The internal check system should be too expensive and should be economical in the concern. The internal check system must be carefully devised and properly regulated. The employees should be carefully selected and properly trained for the job to be done by them. The authorities and the duties, responsibilities of the staff should be clearly defined. Then only the internal check will be possible. Otherwise, there should be a proper division of Responsibilities are work among the members of the staff. We discussed about the division of the work. So the division of work among the staff members should be based on their qualification, area of specialization, experiences and capabilities. How they can do them, they let them do in that specialized area. And also clear cut of the instructions about the each job should be given to employees in writing so that everybody understand his job clearly. Otherwise, work in the similarity nature should be entrusted to one person to ensure specialization and efficiency. There should be no overlapping of the duplication of work at any level because that will consume more time and the patience of the auditor also sometimes he may lose because that should be completed within the stipulated time given by the management. So no employee should be allowed to remain and the particular job for long. There should be a frequent rotation of employees from one job to another, as it would help to detect fraud, if any, committed by employees to broaden their work experience. Persons with dealing cash, checks, goods, securities, etc., should be required to go on leave at periodical intervals so that errors and frauds, if any committed by them, would be detected by their substitute. Safeguards should be prescribed for each custody for unused checkbooks, securities, confidential files, etc. Labor savings and devices of mechanical devices such as cash register, calculating machines, many of using that, and time recording clocks, etc., should be made use of preventive errors and frauds and to improve efficiency of work. So, like this internal uh, check system will be helpful for the auditor, and also because the cash sales many of the transaction that internal check will be helpful in the during the cash sales process, and also internal check system will be useful for the purchasing of an asset or internal check in the sales by the traveling of the salesman. Internal checks may be posted by the sales under the mail order business, like this cash purchases and the wages and so many of the transactions can be applied the internal checking. So with this internal checking system, auditor may helpful for the better auditing procedure, and also management also will get the same benefits from the internal checking system. And let me share a photo. Next topic is about coaching. What is coaching and what are the characteristics of coaching? Okay, what is coaching? Coaching is concerned with examination of documentary evidence to ascertain the authenticity of entries in books of accounts. So it is an concern with the examination of documentary evidence. I'm using the word here, documentary evidence. That documentary evidence is nothing but a OCHR. That OCHR is nothing but a document. So the documentary evidence is nothing but OCHR. So watching is concerned with examining the documentary evidence to ascertain the authority of entries in books of accounts. It is an inspection by the auditor of evidence supporting and substantiating the transactions made in the books, as it is techniques used by the auditor to judge the truth of entries appearing in the books of accounts. All accounting entries must be presented by a document. All entries uh, of a book accounting records should be supported by a document. It is not only examination of the documentary evidence, but sometimes auditor to go behind the recorded evidence in eliminating any possibility of fraud. So the possibility of the uh, loss or the errors might be possible without the evidence of documents. If they produce the document, there may be chance of reducing the fraud. And watching is the examination. The same like auditing involves watching. So watching is the examination of the evidence offered in substantiation of the entries in the books, including in such examination of proof. So as far as possible, that no entries have been omitted from the books. So it is an examination that evidence offered from substantial entries in the books, including the examination of proof so far as possible, so that no entries have been omitted from the books. So each and every entry has to be verified thoroughly. And also, what are the objectives? What are the objectives or the characteristics of the watching? We are discussing about it. It is about imperative aspect of auditing, and it is based off auditing and drafted evidence, drafted evidence, and the disclosure of extortion and the report of business activities, and it is about the no secret transactions and course of voucher and imperative aspect of auditing. These are the major characteristics of audit. It is on based on the auditing and accounting principles only. So how the objectives of auditing will be useful? It is to ensure recording of all transactions. It is for the ensure recording of the all the transaction to verify that the transaction recorded in the books of accounts are supported by the documentary evidence or not. It is to be verified that all the transaction recorded in the books of accounts, uh, what we can say that if it is having documentary evidence or not should be verified by the auditor. To verify that viability of the vouchers with support the entries and asset whether these are authenticate addressed to the business and properly dated or not, to verify that no fraud or error has been committed while recording the transactions in the books of account. It is one of the objective, and also the to ensure the vouchers have been processed carefully through the various stages of internal check system. We discussed in the uh, just about the internal check. So that will be useful for that, which have been processed carefully through the various stages. One person may verify the address of the transaction, he may verify the date of the transaction, he may verify the amount of the transaction, is it genuine or not? Some person, it will be go for the so many stages. And also to know that while recording the transaction, whether uh, distinction has been made between the capital and revenue item. If that item is related to a long-term source, long-term benefit, that item can be called as a capital expenditure or the capital item. If a transaction gives results for the particular 1 year or a short period of time, that will be called as the revenue item. Whether the revenue items and capital items have segregated properly or not should be verified by the auditor with the watching process. In the same way, to verify the all the transactions connected with the business are being recorded in the books of accounts, and also to check the vouchers with the support entries are legal, valid, authenticate, addressed. That business to be properly dated. To have greater precision in the reporting of the financial information as true fair to ensure reliability of figures interested in the books of accounts. To confirm that no transaction has been recorded in the books of accounts which are not related to the entity under the audit. So, in the same way, these are the points to be remember while the auditing procedure has to be made with the help of coaching. And also in the same way, points to be noted, which points to be noted while doing the auditing procedure. Let us discuss. If auditor, just imagine, if just auditor must verify the authentication of transaction, accuracy of amount recorded, and proper classification of account. All the vouchers are numbered serially and dated because to avoid wasting of time in locating a voucher, they have to be arranged serially. Because just like example 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C, D, and the date and alphanumerical A1, A2, A3, like that, they can segregate as per their uh, their understanding. And that the amount of the receipt must be shown in the words and figures. If there is a difference, it should be investigated. The voucher checked by the auditor should be stamped and the tick marked with the special sign to avoid the uh, its use of again. And the receipt of voucher should be indicate period which the payment has been made. It show the payment made in advance. And if the voucher is personal name of the partners, director, or any of the person, it should be properly treated in the books of accounts. The auditor should proceed cautiously the use of special ticks for the vouchers which are doubtful. Every voucher should be certified by a responsible of officer of the business. All experts pertaining to the business should be examined by the auditor. So every receipt should be bear a revenue stamp. The auditor should be see proper account and debited and credited and a proper classification of accounts has been done. Distinction is made between the capital and revenue items while vouching. Alternating of the mm, any voucher transaction has to be verified by the another person should be made for the clear evidence. And the auditor should be used specific tricks for watching cash payments and receipts and purchase sales. Are the so many transactions has been placed in the business organization should be verified improperly. And the alteration of the vouchers must be supported by the concerned officials in initials. Otherwise, they may use mislead if they add any another extra digit that will leads to change of the amount and that will leads to misuse of cash or the goods in the business organization. uh, Watching, just can we imagine about the watching of purchase books? The main aim of watching of purchase book is what is that all the purchase invoice are entered in purchase book and goods are to be entered in the purchase books actually received by the business. And also payment is made only for the goods which are delivered by the supplier. Watching normally depends on frequency purchase, size of the organization, and the staff employed. If the internal control system is purchase inadequate, the auditor has to exercise greater care of watching of the purchase transactions. And also, for example, every business organization may not continue the each and every sales proceeds with the cash only. Sometimes credit purchases also made. If that auditor duties, what are the auditor duties filed? Purchasing a credit goods or the credit transactions. So there should be a proper record of all the purchase orders. A duplicate copy of the purchase order kept in the books of records. Otherwise, a copy of purchase order shall be sent to account departments. So that will be helpful. And all goods received. should be recorded on the goods received note. A copy of it should be sent to accounts department. And also, payment of supplier is made only after the verification of receipts of goods and in the process of quoted in purchase. The auditor should be see the only credit purchases and goods record in the purchase book. The purchase book can be verified from the purchase invoices and copies of orders placed, goods received, and the goods inward book and the copies of challans from the suppliers. Generally, the quantity mentioned in the invoice must be same as in the purchase order. So it should be comparable in which books of the transaction is recording, how many books that should be tally. That should be tally in the books of accounts and while watching the transactions. And the price changed by the supplier must be a quotation price and list price or the supplier, whichever price they are taking and what are the discounts they offered, as it is trade discount or it is a cash discount or it is a early payment discount should be verified. The supplier bill must be named in the business for the period of audit. The goods purchased must not be personal use of the director of the person. While watching the purchase vouchers, each voucher should be stamped or initial after examination so that it cannot be produced again. So, like this, the auditor should be more careful while watching the purchases made in the first or the last month of an accounting period and amount, how much they are uh, purchased, how much they are spent, and what is the due amount. So, like this, sometimes purchases of the returns should be taken. The returns should be verified in detail. If that details of the records has been not maintained, that should be thoroughly checked with the help of watching system. And what is the auditor duty? He should be see the debit side. Uh, Debit note has been sent by the supplier and credit note while he is sending a document. And the quantity, how much quantity they have retained and the amount have been they sent return back or not, and is that pending amount as or there or not should be verified by the auditor. Then only it will be useful for the auditing procedure. And the internal control of the credit sales and so many watching transactions will be helpful. And the watching is the sales returns in the same way, and what are the credit note issued by the auditor, sorry, the accountant, and how it is verified by the auditor should be noted. And watching of the goods sent on consignment basis. As we know that what is consignment, it is sending it goods to one place to another place for the on behalf of the person who sent, the person who receiving the goods will be do sales procedure and he will get a commission on that sales. So each and every transaction in the same bank accounts or the government entity or the corporate society or a firm or any industry should be verified properly. Then only we can take the advantage of the watching transactions. And watching of the cash transaction mostly should be settled in at a time so that amount they have received and how they are recording of each transaction, how they are producing the bills of account should be verified. So each and every cash receipts and the cash sales to be verified. So each and every bills receivables and bills payables, what are the bills, evidence of document should be verified by the auditor. Then only he can get a clear idea about auditing procedure. And if any rent has been paid by the uh, business firm, should be take a verify with the rental agreement. As we know, rental agreement is given by the owner of the house to his tenants, so that should be verified. And the sale of any investment income from the dividend and a commission received procedure from the sales of fixed asset and any of the cash purchase and bills payable, wages, salaries, all expenditure we have to doing while doing watching, we have to remember each and every transaction in the books of accounts. it will be come to the for the books of verification of accounts. Majorly books of accounts we discussed in the financial statements, trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. What are the items comes in the trading account should be verified with the all the supporting documents, and what are the debit side items and what are the expenditure while manufacturing, and what are the payments or what are the receipts we received uh, from the trading account should be verified. In the same way, next account is income and expenditure account. What are the payments we have made during the accounting period should be recorded in the debit side. So each and every record has a supporting document that should be verified, clear with the all the watching procedures. And the same way, what are the incomes received in the books of accounts in the accounting period, either cash received or income received, or the, what are the uh, non-trading depreciation account, and everything has to be verified with the supporting documents. And from that, the transaction will be going to the balance sheet. The balance sheet is also contains assets and liabilities of a business concern. What are the asset, fixed asset, and what are the documents for that fixed asset? What are the current asset and what are the current assets or documents? And also what is the stock and investments? Every each and every transaction having a record of the book bill, the bill or voucher to be verified in the books of accounts. In the same way, left side it will be we record all the liabilities including capital. So capital should be verified with the how much the uh, amount we have invested in the in the business should be verified. What are the preference shares, what are the equity shares? So each and every amount having a document that should be verified by the auditor. And what are the loans and advances, and what are the bills payable amount, what are the creditors, and how much amount is taken from the other sources, from the banks or the other financial institution, should be verified with the supporting documents. So with this, the watching process will be fruitful. These are the major importance of the uh, characteristics of watching. So these are the all the characteristics we discussed already in the uh, detail during the explanation, that imperative aspect of auditing, basics of auditing, and drafted evidence, um, disclosure of extortion, and report of business activities only, and the each and every no secret transactions, and the course of voucher. It is a document. So each and every documents to be produced while verifying the books of accounts with the proper document. That is nothing but vouching. So with this, I would like to wind up today topic, that is internal check and coaching. And next class we will discuss the remaining topics of your subject. Thank you.